So just like there's a difference between high stakes performance and high performance, there are a difference between high stakes performers and high stakes jobs. So by definition, a fire service person has a high stakes job. A law enforcement person has a high stakes job. Teams that are going down to Harvey, search and rescue, water rescue, those are high stakes jobs. However, not every one of them is a high stakes performer because they haven't received the kind of training to bring them to the level where they can perform as a high stakes performer. So what happens is if you go into a situation and you haven't had the training to prepare yourself for what you're going to see and hear and do, mitigate the potential trauma, and then process that trauma or potential trauma or secondary trauma when you get home, then it just stays with you. And so our protective services, firefighters, and law enforcement personnel are committing suicide at record rates. The average suicide rate for Americans is 13 individuals per 100,000. For protective services, which is law enforcement and fire service personnel, it's 34.1 per 100,000. In one survey, 50% of fire service personnel said that they had considered suicide during their career. That makes it nearly the norm. So we're not doing what we can for first responders, for fire service personnel, for law enforcement in terms of their own trauma and vicarious trauma, and I think we could do more.